guys, Retro Reviews here again with another Transformers Cybertron video review. This time I'll be taking a look at the Scout Class Scattershot figure from the line. So just sticking with doing more of the Team Prime figures, I guess, right now. Here we have Scattershot in his first form of the series. The first alt mode that he took was that of a half-track armored personal vehicle. And as you can see, it does look very menacing for its very diminutive size. I might have to maneuver some stuff around here a little bit to keep this all in frame because it's so small, but yeah, very nice little guy. Very nice little half-track mode. Very cute, both very cute and a little bit of menacing at the same time with these giant missiles hanging off of the backpack. Oddly enough, that's his Japanese name was Backpack, so... Anyways, some nice detail going on here. We do have a nice silver bar painted on the front, as well as some headlights and some armor pieces around them painted on. We do have the what would be kind of like the windscreen, but in a case of this, it's not windows, it's just iron slats, and doesn't really cut into anything. It's just, they're just there on this one. Little hatches and silver painted details on that. Some nice goldish bronze colored paint on the inner workings of the treads themselves, as well as the hubcaps on the front wheels. Nothing going on the back at all. This is a made-up vehicle, so they really could just do whatever they wanted with this. Gimmick-wise, we do have a couple things here. First, I do want to point out, he also does come included with this gun, but actually can plug into here. But that actually was never on the animation model on Scattershot in the show. So I always tend to just like to leave it off. And then we also do have the giant missiles here. They are pressure fire missiles. So if you just get back here and push hard enough, it does launch the missiles out. And then lastly, we do get the Cyber Key gimmick. This one does come with the silver bordered Earth key. This is the same one I used in the Red Alert video review, so I know it's probably not going to be the exact key based off of the code on the back, but the codes don't even matter anymore anyways, so just plugging the key into the key jack back here does allow for an extra armament of missiles to pop up. So that's very nice. And size comparison here in vehicle mode. Just going to do, again, the standard with the Voyager Siege Optimus, so you can get a good size on how he is compared to a more recent release. As you can see, Optimus is quite a bit bigger than Scattershot is in the toy form. And now for transformation time. What we're going to do here to start the transformation is we're going to start by pulling up on the missile launcher section and then folding these bits out and then pulling the legs all the way out and around and then folding the tank treads forward, and that will form the leg, and repeat on the other side. Next up, come to the front here and take the wheels. They actually do peg into a couple pegs on the front of the vehicle, so you want to unpeg them from that first, and then take these sections and swing them out, and then swing them out about halfway, and then you can maneuver the wheel to its proper location first, and then just finish swinging it out. And then take the forearm here and rotate it forward. And then just do the same on the other side. It doesn't matter the order you do it, just as long as you get it into this configuration. And then the last thing we're going to do here is we are going to take the front of the car mode or the half-track mode down and reveal his head. So there is Scattershot all transformed into his robot mode here. Take a real close-up look at his head real quick. Yeah, as you can see, really nice head sculpt. Whoa. On this figure. I just need to get it focused a little bit better. There we go. Now there's no light piping on this figure, unfortunately, but we do get this really cool like for the goggles across his forehead, as well as we do get a visor painted in this really dark blue plastic, or dark blue color, as well as a silver paint for the face. And then there's that. And then other than that, only other details we've got now is there's a lot more of this mustard yellow coming through. We got it for pretty much the entire robot mode that wasn't exposed before. And these pieces are actually painted a lighter shade of yellow than the rest of the arms, so I don't know how well that's actually coming off on camera. And then just randomly an Autobot symbol on his wrist. So there's that. Articulation wise, we do have a head pinned down, but it doesn't get fully 360 degrees. It gets about 180 before it gets too tight to where I feel like I'm going to break it if I try to rotate it past that point. So we do have a nice head articulation there for the wood to rotate around. We do have a full 360 degree rotation at the shoulders, as well as we can hinge them out that far at the forearm, and then ball joint at the elbow here. Nothing in the wrist. Waist gets really sad. Like everything waist down gets really sad on this figure. We can not kick forward or back at all on the legs, but thanks to the transformation we do get an outward kick. So it can go about that far. And then there's nothing in the knees. We do kind of get, I guess we can't even do that because it locks up in robot mode. And then nothing in the feet. So this figure is very basic when it comes to articulation, as it should for its size and price point. Speaking of size comparison here, gonna go ahead and put it with another modern figure. This time just the robot mode of the Siege Optimus Prime, basically. So we'll bring Ultra Magnus back out here. And as you can see, I've got Ultra Magnus standing in more of a heroic pose, but here, now that I've got him standing more straight, Scattershot pretty much just comes up to his waist, and that's about it. Our last video review that we did, Red Alert, get a nice little side-by-side comparison there. As you see, Red Alert is a little bit taller than Scattershot, but as I mentioned in my previous review, Red Alert is on a little bit of the shorter side when it comes to deluxe class figures of this time. And then real quick, with one last look at another figure of the modern day, take a look next to the Earthrise Cliff Jumper. As you can see, even though Cliff Jumper is a deluxe class figure, he does come with the extra weaponry that makes him a little bit more cost effective, but he is still about the same size as Scattershot. And now if we want to bring this in here, one thing to mention is that this was a deluxe class. So deluxe class in 2019, 2020, this guy would cost about $20, whereas this guy, and this whole package here, cost $20. This guy cost $7 in 2005. And this is all he came with. So now, other than the lackluster articulation, we do still have the gimmicks that we can use. He can still hold this gun. It just uses a standard 5mm peg for the handle, and then you can just put it in the hand, and then that's what he looks like with that. But again, this thing never existed in the show in either mode. In fact, in the show, whenever he needed to fire weapons that were of just like regular firepower, he would actually just do the whole GoBots thing where he would just take out his hand and shoot lasers out of his fist. Yeah, that was a thing that he did. But if you wanted more weaponry, we can actually take the backpack up here and we can rotate it up a little bit and get the missile launcher primed. Again, push fire missiles, don't really need to show off how they go again, mostly because I'm afraid of knocking over my backdrop. And we can also again access the cyber key port. So plug in a cyber key here, and then we get more missiles coming up. And if we have this all the way back on the back here like this, then he can fire off a volley of missiles without even letting the enemy know that they were coming. So that's a pretty cool little detail. So one last thing I'm gonna just bring out for the sign off of the video here, as I'll bring out the rest of Team Prime that I reviewed so far. So just get Optimus and Red Alert just here in the shot, and then add Scattershot into the mix. So as a figure, he's alright. He's a fun little guy. He is definitely worth his original price point. Wouldn't really say that much more above that, other than, I don't know, I think I bought him for like $12 or $13 earlier this year. So keep that in mind when you go to buy this guy secondhand. My phone just went off. So other than that, he is a fun little figure. If you don't have him in your collection, I do recommend picking him up. Not just because he's, not just because of how he's a nice little fun handheld toy to mess around with if you need something small to just pick up and play with for a little bit. But also on top of that, he is part of Optimus Prime's core team that comes down to Earth. So having this little bit of the collection, or of this team, would be a nice thing to have as a centerpiece of the collection. So definitely worth a nice little pickup. I wouldn't spend too much money on him, but he is a pretty decent figure for a small price. Anyways, this has been Ratchet Reviews. I hope you guys like this video review, and I will see you guys next time with another review. Bye.